Perfect. Now, to start something unusual, folks, I have brought some boxes from my stores, and what you're seeing is me dressed up like Miss J in a drag queen contest. Yes, this is the earrings, a Christmas thing. Those are beads. And the shirt I don't have anymore. The two skirts is what happened at the original picture draft. This is like the shirt is falling apart here. Yeah. And this is me around the 90s. With full lipstick and so forth. Yep, I looked nice in makeup back then. Let's soak it in for a few minutes here. I've got a few things that I went and got a couple boxes from my storage place because I now have space to put them back on my shelves. Oh, you're wondering what's moving in the background? I will get to it after. And a little bit more, it will become a little as a history. And I'm inviting people in. Yeah, even when I was young before makeup, I still looked better than Tony. Shoot. Come on. I'm saying the same thing. I'm not sure anybody, I hope this time me and Luz will get Luz talking and you can hear it so I don't sound like a crazy person. Oh, he's going to pick it up. Okay, you do you. Now, the other thing I found is this. Imagine back in the 1970s, drinking your pop from one of these. Lead. This is a real tin can from 1970s. And that's one of the old fanta cans from Coca-Cola. Now, there's two versions they had. One would say, look, there's a joke inside. Yes, it's a pull tab. And this is before they put recycle. So there's lemon in here, the rest is tin. Why are you doing that? So this is what I drunk pot from when I was a kid, and I'm still surviving. Yeah, so you guys, the younger generation, is happy that you didn't grow up with tins. And this is a pretty creatine it's from 1970, 10 fluid ounces, 284 minutes. That's about what today counts on. But that kind of notion is really, really orangey. And down here is powered by Coca-Cola. It's before they slapped brands on the other side. This is basically before 1978. Then you have the both sides on here. And yeah. Now, back when I was first collecting cans, you didn't get no money for it. But back in the old days, popcorn cheese, and I have a few of these. I'm going to find that they had the contest in onto the bottle cans. Here, so you have to take a can opener and cut here to see what it is. And I have a few old contests like that from the 70s, just before the 80s. No, 80, 81 or something. And we don't see, yes, I was one of those kids that collect them, and back in the 70s, there was contests underneath the pull tab too. Both things are hard to find. I do have one surviving the whole thing. And this is bringing back all the memories of a Coca-Cola can collection. When I found this is mean fantasy, short for fantasy, and they made it first with the Germans because Coca-Cola didn't want to send the Coca-Cola syrup to this one bottler. They sent instead orange and other things. So during World War II, they was drinking this stuff. And then it came back. And then in the 80s, it disappeared until the 90s, but it was still available in the United States. Root beer is always the best. Now, what is this, you may ask? Well, back in the 80s, there was a fad. It's a sound called the dancing flower, the rock and roll flower. You get the modern one, but this is the old one. And every time you talk, it spins. As you see, it got a trumpet, glasses, and I got two of them. I did made a video about them moving to the music. And again, this is royalty from the 1980 spinning flower. Now, to prevent this from tipping over, you have to bend it so it doesn't, the flour and everything, it's taking its the weight. And if you allow music, it spins faster, faster, and faster to a point that, now there was cans, I'm using this can, that my brother had, that sound effect and dance, like move back and forth. Another 1980 thing, a fake camera, called that dance. Well, I got the file. I found this particular one a few years ago after there was four of them. Two didn't work. So two did. Now to change the battery in this is a part and the battery's in here. So in the old days, before the electronic pets that, dance to the music and all that, we in the 80s had these things. Jet is taking off right now. Yeah, I was surprised. Got one of the two, and I did make a video of them dancing to the music onto YouTube. Saying no, you can't, and kind of ban it. So I may do another video with this, probably with my Miss J doll in the future. Some are real glasses, some is not. Should be a sunflower. Up on, and this very sensitive to loud noises and so forth. So if you have, kids, you have these by the beds, and if the little brother sneaks, and you know that I'm moving, if they don't fall over, because it's rubbery, and this is a bendable thing, so, and it's a wire that moves around. This is like a plastic thing over it. Now, a few years ago, they came back with a electronic version with lighting eyes and so forth. And now when just tried to research, not many people, except for me, did a video of them walking to music. There's not much information about this. These flowers was a big fan in the 80s. People basically have forgotten. Yeah. But I have dug up a few other things. Got my Super Game Boy. Yes, that's when I say Super Game Boy, that's just what a Super Game Boy looks like. You put your Game Boy game in here, and you put in your big machine at the time. And the reason I got it because I got a Game Boy camera. So to make good videos, I haven't got around to it using the camera. I film it through this, and the TV set would be better. Not bad. And I paid $3 a long time ago when we had GameStop up here for a few years. Yeah, and it works. But not many people have these things anymore. It's a kind of real cheap now. Now, for your old folks, you probably know what one of these are. This is from the 30s. Yes, it's actually from the Sears catalog. It used to hold pen and paper, but the person who had this turned it into a speaker. It's a 1970 J cloth back here, and this is one of those magnets. Then he soldered into the old-fashioned earplug, and then add an adapter to it. The best reuse of an old antique ever. And so now I can listen to music. My friend always say, "How come you don't have speakers?" Well, I have one here. Sounds tapping. The Chinese guy finally came back, and he knows it. Every native now was using his yard for a backup, a silk card. So he's actually putting up a new fence because they knocked down the old fence, and so forth. So I'm glad I have this back because this is a very old antique. It's nothing happened since yesterday. amazing. Except the guy pounding steaks. I don't know, he's pounding something. Oh yeah, he's pulling the fence there. So people use that's kind of a very stupid idea. Some houses do it. Now, in my back, if you don't go and see the back, I have to hold this far away. This is my official name change paper. So people ask me, it was October 1999 when I officially changed my name to Jennifer A.J. And usually hang up my wall, but I finally got the paper back. And it's I'm hanging with my pins. And so the people, wonder and ask me, did you officially change your name? Well, that's the paperwork. I was having on the wall just like a business license. Experiment time. Let's see what happens if I do this. Why is it you may ask? Well, it's one of the experiments that I bought. Oh, there we go. There's a fake diamond. There we go. Yeah, I could make a video like this. And now for the other side. Perfect. There we go. How about that for cheap FX? And I got another one, a bigger one. It got a chip in it. And let's see if it works. Oh, yeah, there it is. So I have to make a special stand. This is a heart-shaped one. Oh, yeah, I could do a video with that. Yes, I'm using this for a test. Imagine doing that and then add the special effects to it. It'll be one mess up and yesterday got a chip on it. They don't sell these anymore. But this is solid glass shaped like a heart. And then I found this one. It's not the biggest one you see in The Simpsons TV show, but pretty big. And these things are not cheap. I think I got this about $19 at the time. But it's still, even with the chip in it, it's good FX. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build something for these. And I want to have one of those effects, even like this. This is the type of effects that we old people do. But if it's Lou's watching, like, Jan, that's an amazing idea. It is amazing, with the glass one. So I have to now have to figure a way so you can move my hand back and put. Hey, is that creepy? Just before, and it's my hands, a flower. So some of the early camera tricks, they use lenses like that. So your feedback is a bit faster, but yeah. So next time I'm going to make a stand, so I have it here. And do something like dance or something. Because someone say, how come you didn't do a dancing video? Well, I haven't came up with an idea, and I saw things, and if it looks a good 3D effect, people at myself knows it's another effect I find very, very useful. And what it does me as? Well, I know old days of the camera effect, you know. And I'm going to be using them. Now, they came from a laptop. This is inside your laptop. This is the screen. Now, between the screen and this is two layers of plastic. One opaque, one clear, and one acts for, you know, and you look at your computer, all that. I did an animation. It took me a lot of these old screens to take apart. I basically forgot about this, and when I dug it up, there it is. Now, I found something interesting. If you have a small window, if you don't crack the screen, it makes a good shade. Because I had a couple against my windows, these, after I took the whole thing apart, and they just like fill up the sun. Well, you got me thinking, you know, if this is true, how come people don't really use these things to put a couple of sucking cups on them and hang in the windows in certain spot and make a good, actually good shade of the sun. Now, to take these things apart, since I don't have the means with me, I have to be brutal with this. Yeah, how brutal. Very brutal. I have to find my tool here. Because it's just like a prism, and they act like prisms. So when you scan them or put in front of the camera, you see the spread effect. And I'm going to plan to do some videos with these old empty effects that over the years I have basically taught. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use these as animated sheets. Because you get the nice clear one. And this is to fill the sun out, so you don't see that white background. Now there's also a white piece of plastic. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to, do things. And I kind of noticed you take a drawing and you go like a few inches, they jump out like 3D. So that's why one reason I take computers apart, and this is Miss YA. She's going to be singing the next video. So that's one of the many things. Now tomorrow is the Pride Day. And I got my camera ready. I got my extra battery. I was trying to pack this away and film some this year Pride Parade. I just hope it doesn't wait. I also found a really strange thing in Banff, Canada. It's going to snow this weekend. Now I know snow in Banff at this time of year. I know it's a mountain area. The backbone mountains, right across, United States and up here in Canada, the Rocky Mountains. And they come for snow this weekend. It's going to be really dangerous. First up, a bunch of tourists. Second, trees with leaves. If anybody remember that Ontario ice storm about 10 years ago came before they dropped the leaves. And all those heavy trees would be breaking off, either hitting the highway, buildings, or power lines. So it's going to be a lot of damage if it comes down as wet, sticky snow. And once again, most people took out the window tires, and you go again too. If they don't bump into a falling tree, they would be screaming off the highway. So any of my band friends out there, be careful the next couple of days, because I know it's one of those odd seasons. You know, I got 3 watts and 2 likes. Thank you for the likes. And remember, I got 140 now. I need to get to 2. I'm at 240. I need to get to 250. Please give it a, become my fan. I don't call views. I don't call you a view. I call you a fan. F-A-N. So if you want to, I want to get 10 people so I get 250. A milestone. And I know everyone say, "Oh, it's the weather. It's the weather." No, it's just an odd freak thing. So tomorrow I am going to be filming, and then I bring in my camera and centering it to my computer, so it may not be a live thing, because I probably be working the next couple of days on what I do on my private video is find a happy gay song and match it to the parade, because everybody dancing and colorful parade. So this year I'm going to do it again, and chocolate sex, whatever. Now, also the people want to, and tell me. Let me look at the picture. I misplaced it. This out fast time. Oh, here it is. Tell me, do I really look like? And but the people who were doing the hair did the makeup, and they was curling my hair. And doing some of my old comics, Miss J had the curly hair too for a while. And a few years ago, I made my own cards with one of those fads, and it is if Miss J was real, card 2. And this is was my very first and only time that I went to a mimicking drag show, and I was dressing up with a bunch of drag queens. The only time and I came in last place because I found out I was doing a Dolly Parton song and nobody liked it. But I liked, but there was a true transgender local one at the time. This is down in BC. Tap, 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 tap. So, it's a lot of my history behind this. I'm going to scan this and put it up. So, yeah, I look good with curled hair. By expert. These are expert. 2 expert ladies on the side here with makeup. So, this is what I look like with one of my other pictures that I post. Me older with expert makeup. So, this is what I look like. This is 1997, I think. This is how good I look. And if you ever get a picture, I don't know, picture of Tommy, even dressing like Miss J with big, and yes, this is Christmas decoration here as a necklace. And yeah, I look better. I will look way better in my younger years. I do have other pictures of me dressed up a few years earlier for a Halloween party with my own makeup job. So, someone say, do you use makeup? Yes, but the only time if I'm out in public, we're doing mimicking or out for Halloween, I will paint my nails and everything. I've just changed a lot since the 90s. Stress. Like I was, the hair was brown and now I'm old. But I still look better. Agave. What is it? Oh! She actually went in. No cat in graveyard. I looked. And it's one of her vlogs right now as I speak. Just uploaded. So the cat is not digging up bones. That's nice. I should probably watch she was doing all that thing yesterday, last night, as I was live, banging and praying for God so she have a nice passage to the graveyard to look for her person. Sorry. But yeah, she got a new video. The cat is stay gone. She lost her pussy. She used to have 3 pussies. Now she have 2. No, it's just they have 3 pussies. She used to have 4 pussies. I know, cat jokes, sex jokes. Yeah. Whoa, no. Why? What the hell? No. I want to go back. I am still on air. Shit. What happened? I am still on air. I just. I'm on. Yeah, good. I just lost my thingy for the moment, so bear with me. If I click the wrong thing, I get the notification thing up and I can't wait to post this. I'm back? Yes, I'm back. Seeing your posts. Please comment. Got 3 watching, 3 likes. Now, you going to dance to the noise as I go to the bathroom. Don't fall over. See my music go back up. So watch the fall as I go to the bathroom. Do something, you damn flower. Dance. Dance flower. Come on, do it. You have to be there. Oh. Come on. Dance. Come on, dance. You want to clap over here? That's one thing. It takes very loud noises over here to move. Come on. City plant. Yeah, I'm getting some. I have to put something on you, so you don't do that on me. You have to basically. Oh God, you're the one that keep on knocking over. Spin, 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 spin. You can mix your drinks with this if you want. Don't mind fake flowers. Come on, spin. I'm talking. Spin. I'm gonna put that back. I think the. Ah. Oh, let's check what's going on over you know well. Okay. Marcel, what you doing today? She says you invite people over. You see me right, but and I got two of them at the same time. And I said, Mention. Mention what? Hey guys, a small LED pounding his. Sorry, folks. Nobody wants to talk to me at this time of night. And I got my headphones up, so ring harder, Lewis. I haven't figured out what happened, but when I was having a sale at was talking chat to chat, and what happened, it works perfectly when I did. I think when he had his camel mic was working, but when he was offline, off just using speaker, that's what the problem is. So please, I didn't equate, a make-believe fan like Michelle does. Did. Is. Whatever. So, as for other things going on, it haven't been much. And, disappointed someone who was planning to buy a couple of my my other games. Back off the last minute when I brought my games here. So I lost $30, and I was hoping to buy some, but nope. That means I have to figure out to make a lot of money and film at the same time doing the gay parade. Parade. Both way, yes. Anything else? Well, I have other things to talk about, but I'm going to show you some more teas when I will bring more stuff in. I just want to touch base, and show you some unusual collectibles I have. And what I used to drink, because I drunk pop and played in the dirt and had lead in my food. It had a thin plastic, they was talking about that PB8 plastic that was in baby cups and all that. This is the plastic where they were talking about. These things are lined with that plastic. But when you get washed it like this, you have to wash out. But by that time, the pop would be flat. But finding these camps now in Canada, a lot of parts and places, this well deserved is pretty hard because I've been finding a few like that have been crushed and never been picked up again or get Some come from hiking and they bring their garbage back in from camping. And that's usually what the limit in cans is, a crushed can of the old things. So for the age of this, I'm 72 because 75 they have the look joke inside of these. So some back then this didn't you open it and that's it. And strangely enough, an odd thing, since the 70s, and people stopped using pull tabs, unless you're drinking Heinz B8 cans, you won't see tabs on the ground anymore. The tabs have disappeared, and if you're digging in an area that's used to be dumped, then you will find the old tabs. It's basically, finding a old cigarette pack from in the 70s, but a candle inside. More on that after. But and those annoying pull tabs is not around. That was a big thing. That's why we had the two dots we press in small, press on the big, and all that, because people was complaining, the kids, when they make the necklaces of pull tabs, were cutting themselves. And people was cutting their fingers with this. Basically, kids, not me. And and then the lead poisoning thing. So if you see any cans up there or in the grass or your food presser, pull these things out because it's 2019 now, and I think over time the lead, well, unless it's in some freezer in North or South Pole, you won't find that. And these cans, and they got less lead, by the way, than in the 1800s. Yep, and just probably why Bob and Tommy and a few other people my age may have light brain damage because all the lead we drunk and ate from the old-fashioned cans, because Tommy is about 10 years older, Bob is about a year older than me. So if you're going to blame why we have a, like 91 IQ, blame it what we drunk from and ate from. This is before people understand food safety from cans. Now you can drink, canned soup, beans, without worry about the sodium lead here. So if you're wondering why I'm crazy and a few other older cows, and they said, well, I don't know why I'm this, why my IQ at 91. This could be a reason. This probably why I have a speech problem and learning problem. Because back then, everybody had cans. Everybody was taking cans to school. Every time I go home, had can of soup in the 70s, 60s, 70s. They phased it out in the 80s. This is why one of the many reasons, other than DNA and whatever reason, there is Cow my age or Bob. I'm blaming what we used to drink from back in the day, and today people bitch and complain. From the water bottles. It's just a brand new water bottle. Nothing used. But people was complaining, oh, there's a plastic that causes Alzheimer and all this and that and what's the thing? Oh, stop using it. There's all these new parents. Not just like, that's the thin piece of plastic. Just imagine the thin piece of plastic keeping you kids from the 70s and the 50s, and since we put the thin piece, the same type of plastic that's in some of these drinking bottles. Just think about that. The people my age, and why we lost a few IQ points, and why one of the reasons that I have learning and speech problem that I'm slowly getting better day by day is this. Well, the same type of plastic, because over time, pop eat through cans. And if the wash go through this, or the pop go through out there, and if they begin to eat through the plastic, you drink. You see what I'm getting? And people today banning cans from the lemonade because of that thin piece of plastic. Well, that thin piece of plastic prevent you to have lemon in pieces, because from tomato paste that being so acidity and so forth, actually have lemon poison. And when the kids when the parents said, "Oh, they may cause autism because this is BBP plastic and all this and that, there's wine and sippy cups and all that." It is kind of wondering from today fussy generation. Back I was a kid, the parents wasn't worried about the plastic liner in my pop can or the lead. We was started worried about lead in the can in the 70s. We slowly got rid of it. So yeah. I got in this last year. Hello. When I was opening day savoring food, lineups was big, and the men so was grabbing things themselves like, "Yeah, this is for you. Please understand this is open day. Let a gift in lineup." So this is and I haven't used it, and this shaped like a ball with the same little lumps on the thing, but that's how I got it. Nice and purple. Look, another hologram. Let's see if you can see me. Okay. But the plastic in here is completely, no, this is limited, but there is a thin piece of plastic in here. Now, this is one nice thing about this. It keeps it colder. It's not the old-fashioned humans. We drop them, the glass break. This is recyclable. Good wrapping and the bell. And a good top to it. The other strangely thing I like to bring out is those reusable coffee cups. Speaking about these, now people will use the reusable coffee cups, traveling mugs. It's good when you use traveling mugs, but lately I've seen people misplace them. I see them on power boxes and this and that. It just seems people carry these around. You clean them and they'll go all that soap into the river. A second thing, I see many of them being falling off a book, has plastic, and people just leave them around because the handle breaks or something like that. And yet, I stay drinking from a paper coffee cup, a thin piece of plastic. The difference is that the coffee cup will break down with a piece of thin plastic. But these thick, limiting drinking cups, coffee, and so forth, people just leave around at the parking lots and so forth because they forget about it, or they eat it on top of the car and they drive and turn the corner and then you see this big flattened out coffee cup or drinking thing. That's waste of more plastic. So I am basically green because I don't use these so I don't have to clean it with soap every day, and people complain about dumping soap, a lot of soap and things. So if you clean this out every day with soap, that's more fish to get poisoned. And if you leave this on top of your vehicle, that's more limiting old plastic on the road sitting there taking time to depose. So this is my argument why you're going to see, I have seen paper cups, me drinking coffee from, because it can't be recycled, but it's still 99.9 paper. At least that would break down and dump over time faster than if someone squats this and it's laying inside the road, or a plastic cup, or a plastic mug. So, did we got better in our containers? Think about it. The best way is paper cups, glass containers. Which is why I do have plastic cups. But I drink my coffee and all that from good old glass mugs and things. Because more of these, less worry about me polluting the earth, something that don't break down. This you could crush and basically pave a road with. And they think it's to last longer than plastic. But what I mean is people don't carry those mugs with them. Unless you go to a fancy restaurant and drink from them at breakfast service, during the day. People is just like, complaining now that we just have too much plastic. And then turn around and drink from a plastic recyclable cup. Now, you notice in some of my bags, I show you that I use it for my video, are made from plastic pop balls. Or at least it's got a second life. I haven't seen a plastic bag made from old coffee cups that some people smash on the side of the left. How? The Iron Man thing down in Oak Valley, they have along the route, and when I was living there, I was picking those grade slippy containers, and they've been doing that for years. They don't pick them up afterwards. I'm not sure how. I only watched a bit of the our running from Skyway to here every December, just before the winter time. At least we pick our cups, but it's a lot of, if you walk around, if you pay attention, there's a lot of those coffee cups around. I'm not talking about the paper. And yet you can bitch about these things, plastic that may cause, autism, kids and this and that. You guys have it easy. I'm really always talking to one of the county semi-well cans from the 70s. The amazing people from the 70s and back in the 1800s when they first used lead is not crazy as a Mad Hatter. Look up, then you know what I mean. You know, Mad Hatter. But I grew up with lead in my cans. And now people have been complaining about plastic. And over time, a piece of plastic gets into the kid and they become handicapped in the brain. A good way to say it. Oh, you American people, retards. And I laugh at you guys, you know, because that's what I drunk from. Pop, water, juice. This is before those, you know, those containers made from paper and things, those tack packs. And when I was a kid, there's no such thing as a tack pack. It was a small can of juice, orange juice, that, you know, oranges love to eat through things. And if it's got too old, it would eat through the plastic and then to the lead. Amazing your parents and grandparents are not really, really on the mental scale because all the lead we was exposed. Talk about, you know, us eating lead from paint. Only a few kids, you know, today get lead poisoning. It was a little more common than you think. You know, kids are peeling chips. They got pica. Oh, drinking from those things. This is amazing how my IQ at around 91, same as Bob, is not any lower. You know, and yes, I'm blaming the past because back then we didn't care until people started saying, you know, that is making us stupid. Or it's getting lead poisoning more often. It's about the same time we took lead out of gas. Yep. I was driving in vehicles like buses and so forth with lead in the gas tank. Amazing that I didn't get, you know, misinformed when I was in mom room back then, or any of my brothers. The old weaknesses, we all wearing glasses over time. And, you know, I mentioned because people they're complaining, bitching. And they say, well, there's plastic floating in our ocean. Well, invent something to pick it up. The old days, these things sink to the bottom of lakes and oceans and streams and rivers, get rusty, and then the lead. You should think, as I know it's bad for the animals with all that plastic 6-pack holes and this and that, but the ocean was a little more dangerous with more iron in it, tin actually, in our rivers, in our salmon and so forth. There is still old garbage slowly, steadily led into our lakes, our river, but old gobstones from people used to camp out there. There's a few of them, and they stay. And we worry about, you know, plastic floats. Grab the plastic so we don't kill another turtle or a seagull. I saw a picture of a seagull starved because it somehow it beat stuck in a big shaver. And I looked at the picture like, how stupid is a seagull that think this pink shaver was food? Now, we know there's nothing around that is that pink. But this bird got a beak into the saver, this throwaway saver, and started that. Like, this one bird, this seagull must be one hungry bird. The mistake, and then again, savers, I guess it was along the shoreline because they sink and wash out. But, there is some bad thing about plastic and there's some good thing. At least we could rescue the plastic bags and all that in the two major plastic areas, but nobody want to do it and recycle that because of the seawater and sodium that stick to plastic and make it useless to recycle. I wish some smart kid find a way to dredge all that floating plastic, pancake it right on the boat, and take it to the recycling thing. Imagine a thing that pick up, like a paddle wheel, pick up all that plastic, then take it to a presser on boat, press into a little square like we do here in the Yukon with our plastic. We got plastic balers that press all the plastic bottles and other plastic into this big screw and its cube, and then wrap it with, strong wrapping, fiberglass or steel, and then shape it down. No one never thought of that idea. I'm telling me a few days ago in one of my dreams, like, how come nobody ever thought of this? Picking up plastic and bikes and so forth, and then package it and send it out to the recycling place. Nobody thought of it. And because of people didn't recycle cans in the old days, beer cans and pop cans, it was all over the place when I first collected bottles. And back then, bottles was good because you could clean it and refill it, and put new bottle tops on. This is why our rivers and that is just getting the lead and the tin into the water and into the fish. So, blame the generation that invented the can with the lead in it. Why our oceans are full of lead over time and now full of plastic. I know this turning out to be part 3 of recycling. But from someone like me, when starting collecting bottles, the stubby ones I showed you back in the 70s, because back then it was pop bottles, refillable, there was unreturnable glass, the cheap glass, and the ones they refill, the ones you get 5 cents or a dime to. All of us remember taking a 6-pack of bottles to get money to buy gum. That's how some recyclables start. Get some bottles, you can get cash, and buy some gum. Or a can of pop that kill you over time. I agree. And people, who go back in the past don't talk about these things. And I will talk about these things. Because we polluted, I think our old pollution is now killing us now. The pollution we did now will kill our future. When we used to dump all that stuff in the ocean back the start of the 1900, we are going through that now. All those rusted metal at the bottom of the sea, the shipwrecks in lakes, in rivers, of all those cans and all the old dump leaching into our drinking water. And then you have the fusel plastic and all that on top of some of these dumps. I'm glad our main dump is used to be a copper mine, so it's got big rocks, so it never will float into the river. There's a creek nearby. But I've ever seen today plastic today is causing these art weather. No, it's not. It's when we don't care. Back in the 60s, the 50s, when we have more plastic throwaway stuff than today. We are trying to reuse bags and so forth. That's why I reuse my bags. Back then, you get paper bag and then don't recycle it. And now it goes. It's a very sad thing that we think the ruin of the planet, fake or not, is happening now. But it took a long time of our garbage way back when we, the structural age, when we able to make things faster, our things, and there was more litter to throw out. That's not, friendly. So we actually suffer from our grandfathers and great grandfather garbage right now. If you want to point a thing is those old places that our forefather, our grandfather and great grandfather of oil and gas before, and chemicals before we got smart in the 70s. Now, 1970s, that's when we got smart. But the harm was done. We try to cut down back in the 80s and 90s, and we're continuing it. But we just still edit to the old stuff that's more dangerous. There's watching now in the grounds and so forth. And that bit of that metal and a bit of that lead is now in our river with all that gas that we used to dump. And all that old sewer before we started to treat it. That's what's causing the old weather to change. It's our past. Now, what are we doing now? What are we doing now is going to affect the future. If you think about it, about the past, the humans don't have to worry because everything was made from clay and bones that easily the earth take away. That's why we find clay tablets and old vases and vases, because that was basically made from a stone type of thing. This is why we stay able to find old cups and things still bottom the ocean when we found the Titanic, because everything was washing away except for all these, cupware and all the plates. So they would be sitting there for thousands of years because it's basically grounded clay into things. But the metal, it takes all those old shipwrecks from World War I, II, and nowadays, since we made metal ships, not wooden ships, it affects our environment now. And all the scientists think what we put in at this moment affect the weather. No, what we used to have those trophies, chimneys, and all this and that back in the coal, before we cut down the coal burning and all that, that is causing the weather change now. It took 50 or 75 years to affect our weather. And today, people think it's our garbage. We just added to the problem. Now, if people got smart and started to clean up back then, our weather may not to be that bad. See what I mean? Think about it. The day when we made things cheaper and was more popular and so forth over, when we stopped using glass to keep our wine and beer in and started to use this stuff, I saw how the weather starts to change slowly as we slowly poison the earth with what we used to and stay not cleaned up in the old dumps and so forth. To help the future, it starts with the old dump, clean up the old dumps with the rusted cans and this and that, fun since 1900. Get all that spell chemicals so far into the ground, the grass is having all that stuff, and trees and so forth. It's the past is actually killing us. The future, we killing the future too if we don't clean up now. Don't recycle, don't reuse, don't repair things. See what I mean? This is the message that people in the 70s have been telling us, the hippies and all that. And now the science say, yes, it is changing things. But they think it's now. No. It's back when we became litter bugs and we throw things around and not recycle. Way back before we started recycling things. That's why our weather is changing. That's the pollution that goes up. The old refrigerator. Today's refrigerator is more healthy for the environment than the refrigerators that I grew up and my father and grandfather grew up with. Same as cars. The same as everything. The effect of the ozone layer is the spray bottles and everything that we threw out, and finally the gas with being washed is going up there. Now we have all these safe machines that use less of that gas and other ways to spray bottles and so forth. That's why it's lowering itself. Think about what your grandmother used to have those bee hair. And like Marge Simpson. Marge Simpson is probably one of the biggest pollution of the ozone thing because of her hair. Always up. That's a fuel. Think about that. Our always is changing the earth now. We are slowly getting smarter now. Now, like Liz and Bob and Tommy probably agree with me on this because we are seeing what happened now. That's why we're having bad weather across the United States. It took time as the temperature slowly rise. It takes time. And what we think when it get doomsday, water sources and really bad jobs would be what we put into the ground now. And when that begins to break down and get into our water and things and change it, if we don't correct this into stuff that don't pollute our future generation, because our pollution, what we do, it will, if we stop now, hopefully the next few generations will take this, and hopefully someday we'll have a generation that know how to recycle everything and go be more greener than I and you. That's the future I want to see. If I'm a spirit back in the future watching. The action was the path, but we got smart during the 70s. And this is why royalties like this stay buried in the ground, crushed by earth, by graders in the old dumps, and leaking into our food chains and so forth. Same as all that chemicals we sprayed on the trees back then, and so forth. Our DT craze in the 40s and 50s is now changing the weather now. I'm glad we stopped using DDT and all that, but the damage has been done. Now we're suffering through the weather. Things break down and slowly affect it. These scientists say it happens right now. No. Unless you have a science that understands how things break down over time, how it gets into the plants and animals and into us. If we stop using soap that will strip that plastic, use a soap that don't strip the plastic from those drinking cups. Yes, but no, we just get that. That's why if you want to clean those plastic things, use a J cloth or something, not an SOS pad and scratch it like my glasses saw. People don't think about it. And that's the thing we have forgotten. And today, spoiler alert, thinking, they're right, but they're wrong. We have less dangerous chemicals in our toys and things. I'm talking about local-made ones, not the foreign ones, because we stay fine lead in the paints from China and Japan. But we are taking measures to stop those things to enter in our child and our vitamins. And we're learning slowly to recycle all our e-waste. It is the biggest thing. There's people like me who take out gold and as I say, the plastic from laptops, which we use in the hard drive, and all that to do one thing. Now, Bob does it just because he wants his grandkids to believe in God in the future. He's doing it for his kids, so when they have kids and they believe in God, to be believing in the God future in the clean world. He's doing it to please his God, not helping the earth. God made this earth for us to keep clean and so forth. We have to keep this as we keep our souls, our body clean. If you're going to use something that's going to pollute and break down, we use it, recycle it like paper and so forth, that we could keep our lungs, the trees. When in the 70s, when they begin to recycle paper for toilet paper, we all started to save trees. And when others supplied and paper began to recycle, we saved more trees. Most of our newsprints now is recycled. The old recycled toilet paper all was newsprint. Bet you didn't know that. More paper we recycle. More people like Bob. I hate to admit, he is helping one thing. The earth. God made this earth for us to protect it, to keep the animals and the fig trees alive. Now, in the Bible, it talks about plants dying, this and that for no reason. Well, that's the reason. If we keep the earth healthy, we're not going to have the end of the day, as in the Bible says. So, because one of many signs is the earth. Bad weather, dying of plants, lack of food. If we learned that a long time ago, we don't have this problem, because one of the many signs that Bob talked about is what we are doing to Earth now. No, I'm not turning to the Bible or anything, but as a fact, as a true fact. You know, wars, we have enough lead bullets in grounds and unexploded, cannon fire staying in the ground, wiping away and poisoning our food. Wars cause more than dead bodies and pain. It dams the earth with all that stuff we blow up with in small pieces into our sand and this and that. War is. And if we have to find a war between the good and evil, just imagine how pollution the earth would be and how long it would cover after the last war. Everybody talking about, kings of kings will come, get an enemy, and everybody with the tanks shooting at them, and all that pollution, fire, tanks, and all this and that. Nobody talk about the end of the day, the earth's going to suffer greatly. So if we want to vent the end of the day, the earth may be more healthier. Bob never thought of that. It takes us a recycle and try from the 70s, been through this. To tell you today, that is, take up that old garbage dump in your farm yard and all that, and take it and get recycled or put it in a place that it won't affect the earth. Think about it. The argument part of recycling is to recycle what we don't need. That means everything what we throw out. I kind of close into this thing I've been talking into my last few videos. We need to start doing it better to recycle. Turning art goals into artwork. Do it more than what Bob does. Every 2 years or 3 years, if he needs the space, he recycle. At least he's don't throwing all that stuff out in the garbage. I give it a thumb up on Bob on that. At least he's recycling. Give him that point there. In God's eyes, he is helping, like I, to try to make this earth livable for our future generation. Now, the two ways, be good to a fellow man, don't kill everybody in war, and learn to recycle and respect the wildlife and so forth. Grow plants in your backyard, and all the things we learned during World War II in our victory gardens back then. Yes, folks. Grow a plant, save the bees, get rid of those pollution so we have the bees who give our food. Make the gods up there happy. We doing some kind of recycling since the beginning of time, with making stuff from bones and so forth, fruits from old wood and so forth. But we became lazy. There's people like me, our sole job in this earth is to help the earth. No matter you're a Bible thumper like Bob, or Tommy who get rocks and recycle them, because even plastic rocks, he believes he's not putting plastic A and plastic B and making molds of gnomes. At least his hobby, I hate to say, is green as long as he doesn't use chemicals to clean those rocks and dumping down the toilet. At least one thing about stone collecting and polishing, if you do the old-fashioned way, it's good for the earth. If you do it good, then you get business. Tommy kind of get. You know, that's the thing. Now, if Tommy could work on his noise pollution problem with his saxophone, then he'd be more green. Yes, air pollution, noise pollution. We have to work on those too. You know, Tommy should play better, so our ears don't bleed when we listen to him on YouTube. There's all type of things that we could do. All type of things. So I'm going to end this right now. It's people right now getting bored. I got 2 watching, 3 likes, and no dislikes. Because this is the message you want to hear. Not someone say gonna from a book, doomsday is coming. We make this doomsday. We wasn't thinking back then when we was wasteful and all that in the back starting in the 1900s. No, it's not what we do to our father man. It's harming. It's what we do to earth. And now I know why I'm so passionate of recycling. It gives me out, keep my blood sugar down, get me exercise so I don't be a fat slob like Bob. I'm meeting people getting recyclable out where it should be because we have learned from our parents and grandparents to use it, throw it. No, use it, recycle it. I know in the Bible it says you shall not take offense of people. Well, I am. I take offense of the little bugs, of the stupidity of throwing things on the streets, in the garbage, and they are too lazy to take their balls back and recycle them. I know that's a sin, but we created the little bugs. We created these people. And I've taken full revenge of them because, as you see in my videos, recycling videos and so forth, you can make money from them. So it's time to say goodbye. And if Louis seen this after, please, phone and we could do an interview for your program. Bye.